Hi guys, my name is Jasmine and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you my everyday go-to makeup look using my favorite, mostly drugstore and affordable products. Some of the products that I showed you unfortunately are not drugstore or affordable. I think it was only like one product if I remember correctly. Hopefully it was only one and that's only because I haven't found a drugstore version that is comparable to me. So if you have any suggestions for any of the non-drugstore products, please let me know. But if you'd like to see how I did this makeup look and also this hairstyle, please keep on watching. Okay, so I finally got the hairstyle down. I think it's really cute. It's not the most secure thing. I just hope the scarf like doesn't fall apart. I tried to tuck it as much as I could, so I think I'll be good. I can link the TikTok that I used to do this hairstyle down below. And now let's get into the makeup. So let's start with brows. I have three products that I use here. I've been using the e.l.f. Brow Lift gel. I really love this stuff. And I'll use this, sometimes this will be the only product I use. If I don't want to go all in with my brows, sometimes I'll just brush this through my brows and I'm good to go. And then I also really like the NYX micro brow pencil. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, the micro brow pencil. And I use the shade Espresso. And then, as we all know, I love the NYX Lift and Snatch brow pen. So those are the three products that I'm going to use today. And usually I like to use my brow gel first, but I'm not going to do that today because it makes putting the brow pencil on easier when I do the brow gel last. Also, if you see my mirror, this is my little handheld mirror. This is from the Colourpop and Star Wars Mandalorian collection. I have like a mirror on my table, but I'm somebody that kind of like leans into the mirror when I'm doing my brows. And I want you to see what I'm doing, so I'm just going to use this mirror. So I start by just brushing them up, and then I use the pencil to draw a line underneath, and then I also create a tail. After I do that, I go in with the brow pen and fill in any sparse areas. Okay, cute. Also, sorry if you hear any noise. I have a mini fridge like right by me, so if that's making any noise, I'm so sorry about that. Now I'm just going to go through my brows with the brow gel, almost forgot, and then conceal underneath my brows. Okay, not my best brow day ever, but they look fine. Like they look fine. Now to prime my face, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. This is e.l.f.'s newest primer and it's so good. A lot of people have been comparing it to the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip, and for good reason. The Milk Makeup Hydro Grip is one of my favorite primers of all time, and I think this one is very comparable. This one definitely is in a way a different price range than the Milk. I believe the Milk one is $30 and this one is $6. So it's a major difference. And this one honestly is almost just as good. I feel that this one has more of that grip. Like it feels almost just as tacky, and it almost is like the what's it called? The Jelly Pop primer. You guys know I like that one a lot too. But I think this one has a stronger grip than that one does. Now the foundation that I have to show you guys is not a new one, and I believe you've probably seen it on my channel before. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation, and I'm in the shade 530 Deep Amber. Nothing tops it. This is the best drugstore foundation ever. I definitely have some new high-end favorite foundations that I can show you guys as well in other videos, but I really wanted to focus on drugstore products today, even though some of the ones that I'm going to show you are not. I'm just going to blend this out with a brush. I definitely believe in using a brush over a sponge, okay? Makeup brush supremacy. I feel it makes your makeup look so much better. Like, people really underestimate the power of tools. Like, makeup tools really make a difference in how your makeup looks more than the actual products do. I think both are equally important. I think both are equally important, and I think people don't realize how important the tools that you use are. This brush, by the way, is the Essence Makeup Buffer Brush. Now, the concealers that I have to show you are not new either. The e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer is still my favorite drugstore concealer. I have not found one that is as good as this from the drugstore. I'm sorry, nothing's topping her. Nothing is topping her, okay? I'm gonna be using the shade Deep Chestnuts first to highlight under my eyes, my forehead, all the regular highlight points. And this is how I like to place my concealer, just like this. And then I put a little bit on my nose, above my lip, tiny bit on my chin, and then in the center of my forehead. The reason I do this is to highlight the natural points on my face where the sun would hit, if you don't know already. And then now we're going to contour the face. Now, to contour my face, I've been using the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer in the shade Beach Please. I believe this is the deepest shade of the bronzer that they have. I did do a video on this in the past, I believe, using the Putty Bronzer. Yeah, I did. I did that when they first came out. And I would say this is really comparable to the Fenty Beauty Cream Bronzer, which I've also been using. And they're really, really good. I have a few different shades of this bronzer, but I've been using this one to contour because of how deep it is. So I just go on my cheekbones, or like right underneath. And this is kind of how I place it. And then I like to go back in with my foundation brush. Where did I put her? I go back in with my foundation brush and just blend out the edges of the contour so that there's no harsh lines or anything. I don't need too heavy of a contour. And then also, I'm sure if you know me, if you watch my videos, or just as you can tell from watching this video so far, my makeup routine is pretty extra, okay? But I just did do a tutorial on like the clean makeup look. If I'm in a rush, if I'm trying to do a makeup look that doesn't take me too long, that's the type of look I would go for. But if I have some time to really do my makeup, this is my go-to look. So if you want something a little bit less complicated or less steps in general, then I would go and watch that video. And I will link it in the cards, I'll link it down below so that you guys can go watch it. I also like to go up to my temples and then the perimeter of my forehead as well. Also, by the way, this is the Anastasia A30 brush. I absolutely love this brush for contouring, it's so good. Now to blend in my concealer, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush, as always. I start by blending out my chin. I always do this in a particular sequence, depending on how much coverage I want each part of my face to have. I go into my chin and then I go in on my forehead. And then I blend that down towards the nose. And the nose I don't actually blend too much because that can make your concealer like blend out more, and that's not what we want. We want to keep it as close to the middle as possible. So this is as much as I'll blend it, and then I'll go in with my foundation brush and then blend the sides like so. This is my trick for making sure your concealer doesn't go in the wrong place, and especially for when you want to contour your nose, this is really helpful. So I really don't think you need to blend your nose concealer too much if you're going to contour it, because the contour will help blend it out even more. And then for my forehead, I am alternating between my concealer brush and my contour brush, again, to make sure this is as blended as possible. And then I go above my lip. I love putting my highlighting concealer above my lip so that it's not dark, because naturally my upper lip is a little bit darker than the rest of my face. And I know a lot of my melanated girls have the same thing. And then I'll blend underneath my eyes. I like to blend from the like concealer closest to the outside, and I try to drag as much as that out, and then I blend upwards towards my eye. I try to focus the coverage on the inner part of my eye because that's where I need the most coverage. And then I always keep my foundation and contour brush handy so that if I need to do any extra blending, then I can. Now, if you're familiar with my makeup routine, you know I love a super bright under eye, and usually I will go in with a white concealer. This is still the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, and this is in the shade Light Peach. But recently I've been enjoying just using one shade lighter. I think this is one shade, maybe two. I don't know. I've been loving using a shade closer to my skin tone rather than just white. This is in the shade Deep Olive, and I really like how this looks. It looks almost like a little bit more yellowy, more olive as the name suggests, and I think it looks really pretty. And I think this is definitely a little bit less intimidating if you're a beginner and you want to do a bright under eye. Using a white shade can be a little bit intimidating if your skin tone is close to mine. So I'm just going to use Deep Olive, and this is still pretty light against me, and I just put that in the inner corner of my eye, and I just let it sit for a couple minutes, and then I'll blend it out. Something that I've also been recently incorporating into my makeup routine is cream and liquid blush. This is not something that I would use on a daily basis, but I've started to, and I've really noticed a difference in how it makes my makeup look, and it really helps my blush to stay on literally all day. I'll come back after having a full day and my blush will not have faded at all, and I love it. So the blush that I'm going to be using today is the Rare Beauty liquid blush in the shade Grateful. I know this is not drugstore, I'm so sorry for that, but I will be on the lookout for more drugstore blushes that I like, that are especially in like this shade. This is just a red shade. I've recently been really liking red blush. You guys know how I feel about orange blush, but recently I've been using red blush and I think it's so beautiful. And a little bit goes a long way with this stuff. I feel like everybody who first gets this blush kind of learns that the hard way. And then I'm going to use the Rare Beauty blush brush to blend this out. And then I'll go back in with my concealer brush and my contour blush. Oh my gosh. Why can't I speak today? I'll go back in with my concealer brush and my contour brush to blend out along the edges of the cream / liquid blush that we just put down, and just to make sure this is as blended out as possible, because this is when things can start to separate and have harsh lines, which we don't want. So the key to blending is alternating between the brushes that you used and just blending along the edges. And then don't worry if this blush doesn't like stand out too much. Like, as you can see, like I would normally use more blush than this, but we're going to set this with a powder blush, so I'm not too worried about that right now, about it fading away as we're blending out more. And then obviously you can put some more if you like. And now I'm going to use the Rare Beauty concealer brush to blend out the concealer under my eyes. I kind of do the same technique that I would with a white concealer, where I'll blend it out with the extra highlighted shade with one brush, and then I'll go back in with the last brush that I used to blend out the edges. And this kind of gives it like a gradient effect. And then if I feel compelled to, I'll add another layer of my second highlight shade. I kind of feel the urge to do so today. So I'm gonna put some more there. I'm not gonna let it sit as long as I did the first time. I don't think that's really necessary when you add another layer. And I'm just gonna repeat the same steps. Now I have two powders that I got from Target that I have to show you guys that I have been loving lately. The first is the Beauty Bakery Bite Size Pinch of Flour Setting Powder, and this is in the shade Cassava. This stuff is amazing. Like, I've been seeing a lot of people compare it to the Huda Beauty powder, and I was a little skeptical. Y'all know how I feel about my Huda Beauty powder. She's top 2 and she's not 2, okay? Like, the Huda Beauty powder is the best setting powder to me. So I was like, I don't know guys, but I'll give her a try. This setting powder is amazing. I believe it was like $11 or $12 at Target, and it's so good. It's so good. I absolutely love it. And then my pressed powder is the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop mattifying powder. I have the shade Light here, and I use this one under my eyes. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. These two together are the equivalent of the Charlotte Tilbury and the Huda Beauty powder together. Amazing. The brush I'm going to use to set under my eyes is the Morphe M536 brush. I'm first going to use the Beauty Bakery powder. This one is in the shade Cassava, as I said, and this is like a yellow banana powder. You see how smooth my face looks? Like, I absolutely love the finish of this powder. Like, it just makes you look so smooth. I also like to apply it in all the other places that I applied my concealer. Ooh, I just put a lot of powder on accident. I did not expect that much just now. I did not even look at my brush before I put it on my face. That was a little scary. And then after I use the loose powder, I go in with the NYX powder to just brighten under my eyes even more. I think I want to get the yellow shade of this powder. I believe they have like a yellow banana shade of this. So usually I like to use my white concealer, and that's why I pair with this. This still goes with the more yellow concealer that I have. I don't think it like off-puts it too much, but I do want to get a yellow powder as well. After doing this, honestly, I do still like to bake under my eyes and the sides of my nose. I just use this tiny little beauty blender from Morphe, and I'm just going to use the Beauty Bakery powder to bake under my eyes. I do also lightly bake above my lip and like my smile lines, because I smile a lot. So I do get smile lines in my makeup sometimes if I don't bake it well. And this powder is the only other powder, or one of the only other powders that I've used other than my Huda Beauty powder, that really prevents my smile lines. Like, it's so frustrating throughout the day when you look in the mirror and you have these little creases from smiles. It's like, okay, now I'm never gonna smile again if this is what's gonna happen. Now while that is baking, I'm gonna do my blush and my bronzer. The bronzer that I'm going to be using is the Morphe Glamour Bronze bronzer in the shade Leader. This is a huge bronzer. I really think you get your money's worth for this. It's so big, and it has this really nice big mirror as well. And I really like heavy bronzer. Like, I go in with the bronzer, okay? Now the blush that I'm going to go into is the Hello Kitty and Colourpop blush in the shade Aloha Honey. It's this really beautiful coral blush. It looks like this. And this is one of my favorite blushes to pair with the Rare Beauty blush. As you can see, this one's a bit darker, but I think this color really helps it pop. I've also been using an angled brush to apply my blush, and I think it really makes a difference. This is the Morphe H2 brush, and this blush is pretty pigmented, so I go a little bit at a time and I just apply it to my cheekbones. I really love how the angled brush applies blush. Brush and blush just are not easy to say together. Now I'm gonna go back in with the Morphe brush that I used before, and I just pat in the powder. I don't like to sweep it away because I don't want to take away from any pigment that it provides to brighten under my eyes as well. So I just pat it in. You can do a little bit of swiping, but no like wiping it away. And I think it also helps to blend out the edges of the blush. Because sometimes when you apply blush, it can look a little bit too intense. So wiping away your setting powder after applying your blush really helps. And then when it comes to the powder down my nose, I just go like this, because I don't want that line to be too harsh. Now I'm gonna go back in with my bronzer and just this like flat eyeshadow brush, and I use this to contour my nose. And honestly, now that I'm looking at my face, I'm gonna apply some more blush. Now, before doing anything else, I'm gonna spray my face. I'm gonna use the NYX Matte Finish Setting Spray. This stuff is so good, especially if you have oily skin like I do. Now, I always apply some eyeliner to my waterline, and usually I do a black, but just for fun, to match my head wrap today, I'm going to be using a blue eyeliner. This is the Colourpop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Zulu. It's just a blue eyeliner, and I'm just gonna apply this to my waterline. Okay, that is the eyeliner. I absolutely love how blue eyeliner looks on brown eyes, especially. It's just so pretty. It's so pretty. And it goes with my head wrap to like chef's kiss. Now I'm gonna apply my mascara. I've been using the L'Oreal Telescopic mascara lately. And then I'm also gonna apply my lashes. These are Lily lashes in the style So Extra Miami. Okay, I finished with my lashes and my mascara, and the look is really coming together. I feel so pretty. Now let's move on to lips. So the first thing that I'm gonna use is the Wet n Wild eyeliner. I don't exactly remember the name. It's literally all rubbed off. But I've had this forever, and I'm gonna use it to line my lips. Now I always like to use a second liner to line my lips, and I'm just going to use the Juvia's Place Luxe Liner in the shade Brownie. And I think using two lip liners really helps to give your lips a really beautiful ombre look. Now for my lipstick, this is a recent favorite lipstick of mine. This is the Milani Matte Lipstick in the shade Tease. Yes, Tease. It's a gorgeous, beautiful, stunning nude lipstick. It just looks so pretty, and I'm just gonna apply it to the center of my lips. And lastly, for my gloss, I'm going to use the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Fortune Cookie. Now here is my final look with the hair and the makeup. I really like how this look turned out. I feel so pretty. And yeah, this is basically my go-to everyday makeup look if I have the time to do a full look. And yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found some new products that you possibly want to try. Let me know if you would like to see my favorites high-end products as well, because I love high-end makeup and I would love to show you some of my favorites if you feel like you want to splurge on some makeup. So yeah, make sure to give this video a like, leave a comment down below, and to subscribe to my channel. Make sure you also turn on the post notification bell so you don't miss another video from me, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!